Welcome everybody. Today I will show you how to use DBnomics with Stata and Python in order to retrieve efficiently and rapidly economic data over the web. My name is Jamel Saadaoui. I'm a full professor of economics at the University of Paris 8 in the north of Paris. All of the examples that I will show you today are available on my website, my personal website, Economacro. So let us dive in. So you can use the tag DBnomics and search about these blogs. So we are going to use these three examples to retrieve the data using Stata and Python. So let us start with the first example here. Let me close that. Okay, so first I will maybe I will close that and start it from scratch. So first I will choose the folder where we are going to work. I launch my Stata2 file here. Appropriate displaying of the windows. So first you have to clear the data and the console, the dataset and the console here. I do that. And you choose a folder. And now a folder is written here. I will go for Python settings, so Python search. So my Python found in two locations. So I have a Python directly installed on my computer and Python installed through Anaconda. Which Python I have currently installed? I can look at Python query here, and it seems that the Python that is used in my Stata setup is the Python which is directly installed on my computer. The version is 3.13.3. So I don't need to set because I'm going to use that. But if you don't have still, it's the first time that you are going to use this example, you have to execute this line. I'm not going to use it now. So I will use this writing to install DBnomics here and calling Python from Stata, which is super cool. Look, it takes a bit of time, but a zero code means that everything runs fine and the DBnomics package has been updated. So first, I will show you how to download the data using the Stata version. Keep in mind that you can, if you open this link, you have a full explanation on how to use DBnomics with Stata to retrieve the data. So feel free to go there and to try to learn. So let's go, rerun these lines. You have an error message here, but don't look at it. You will see that the data will start to be downloaded. So it's processing around 2,000 series because we have 2,000 countries into this dataset, around 2,000 countries. So the dataset is coming from the IMF. It is the financial development indicator, and I use this specific writing because I want annual data, all the countries, and the financial development indicator, which has this identifier. So let's look what we have here. So we have a period with the value of the index, which range between 0 and 1, and here you have the countries. So you have 8,008 data. So if you use a Python version, you have, which seems to be more faster, you have to indicate the provider, the dataset, the frequency of the data, and the indicator. Don't forget to specify that you have 10,000, you can download 10,000 series because the default is 50 series in the Python client. So let's go, Control+D. So now all the data will be stored in a data frame because I called df here. So you cannot see the data yet, but the data. If you need to update pandas, you can do it using the following writing. You can see it open a terminal, and as you can see, Python has been, this pandas package has been updated. So I will use the data frame I just created by creating an Excel file. Create an Excel file. Excel file is saved with this name. So let's go, and you can see that now it's synchronized with my Dropbox. It's synchronized. So now I have the data, which is here. So the value of index is here. So you have all the data here, okay, for the countries. Around 8,000 rows. Okay, so now I will use Stata to read the data, and I will show you in the same time what is happening with the data. So first, of course, I import the data, which I already did. I will show you that. So import the data. So data are not important, it's data. I drop the series which I'm not interested in. I use the package country to create IMF code. A country with a K. I created the IMF code, which is very practical if you want to merge data set with a country year observation. So what I'm going to do, I have to destring the data because here the year is stored as a string variable. So I can destring here, and then I will declare my data as a panel data set with the ID identifiers IMF code, and the year, the period of time will be historic period. So it's strongly balanced, meaning that all the cells are here. I can use describe to see the structure of my data. The structure of data is here. Oh, sorry, I can maybe just. Okay, so I will use the country groups. So you need the file country group dummy. You can store in your personal folder. I will do that very quickly. Up. And for example, US is an industrialized country which is located in North America, not North Africa. So you can go to, for example, the United Kingdom, which is an industrialized country which is located in Western Europe, is also a financial center. Okay, so I create the country groups, give it a name, and then I will use a very nice package called lgraph. I choose the scheme, I choose the font for the graph, and lgraph will give you a way of computing the average for each. So FD would be financial development for all the groups, all the countries, for the industrialized countries, and for the emerging countries. And to specify the time. I put a title, a note, and a box here. So let me I will detail the. Yeah. So, the full title is financial development, x-axis has no title, y-axis has no title. I have a note, but the note is not considered here in pgraph. I put a line in 2008 because it's the start of a global financial crisis. I put a text box with a coordinate on y-axis 0.5, x-axis 2008, and in a box I have a GFC in italics, a small box with the box with a small margin again. Sorry, the background of the box is white, and I give a name for the graph, and then I can export it into PNG with a good resolution. This is what we have here. Oh, it's pretty neat. So if you want to redo that, again, go to this blog here. Okay. So now I'm going to show you how to do it with World Bank data. So writing is a bit different, but not too much. So again, clear the data, Python search. We don't need to redo all the steps because we already did these steps. So we can download it with a Stata version, but we are going to focus on the Python version. So here I start with Python writing here. I import DBnomics as DB, in here some warning, and then the provider is World Bank, World Development Indicator, and I export it directly to a DF, a data frame, to Excel, and I print the shape of the data frame here. So I have more than 17,000 rows and 16 columns. I can also do it using the API link. Where I can find this API link, I can find it by looking at the... the second block is covered here. So what I can do is to go to DBnomics. During this time, I can launch the code. So once you get the API link, you can paste it here, create a data frame using fetch series by API link, and then keep some specific series, so country, urgent value, and country label to this file. We're going to retrieve the trade openness. And then you will have to print that everything is okay. So let's go, let's try. So this is exactly equivalent to this one. So yeah. So you go, so I look at for, I have the name of a series, I look for the series, I can look for that, and you see that now the indicators trade as percent of GDP. I go to links and go to API links for dataset. And the links that I use will be displayed here. So as you can see now, everything is fine. You have the same shape for the data and number of countries. Still not yet in the data because it is in a data frame in a Python. but Python helped me to write the data here in the Excel file. I have the data here, so everything is fine. For example, yep, trade openness is here. Okay, close. So now again, I will use some Stata writing to import the data, to make some adjustments, and to make the graph. So what you can see here is that after the fall of the Soviet Union, median trade openness reach increased very sharply in all countries and especially in emerging markets. Was not the case before. And this increase, very fast increase, stops somehow after GFC. So the glory days of the globalization can be dated between the end of the 80s and the end of the 2000s. So we had 20 years of very intense globalization. So everything is covered in my blog, as you can see here. So last but not least, how to use directly the IPA link. So we are going to use the Freedom House data. So let's go to DBnomics, the DBnomics website first. Go to provider. Look at all this provider. That's wonderful. A lot of data here, and go to Freedom House, which is here. And of course, it's covered in a third blog here. We are going to look at that later. We're going to countries, and we are going to select political rights. And you have the links here. Basically, you have the links here, but you can also confirm it. Sorry, you need to use this link. So don't forget to clear the data. And then you can download the data here. Don't forget to put the maximum number of series and keep the series that you're interested in. So country, original, period, and value. And I create this Excel file. I have Excel file have been created. Still no data here, but it is in the data framework, but using Python, and the database has been created here. As you can see, we kept all of the information. So a higher value for political rights mean less political rights. And a smaller value for political rights means more political rights. As you can see, for example, here. And we had, of course, all the data that we had. Here we have more than 10,000 points. So now I can use data to read the dataset here, and I will use also some tricks that I used before to make the graph. And now what you can see is that after the fall of the Soviet Union, the situation in terms of political rights improved a lot in Africa and in Sub-Saharan Africa, and more importantly in Europe and Central Asia, which is, of course, not surprising. What is more surprising is that in West Asia or North Africa, the situation was not improved until the Arab Springs that created a wave of democratization in Arab countries, but these improvements were short-lived for many reasons. So I stop here today. Thank you very much for your attention. Feel free to go to my website to try all these interesting things, and you can read all of these blogs concerning DBnomics. Thank you for your attention, and see you later.